So at this point, I've been making guides for quite a while, and then it occurred to me just right now that there was one guide, like one kind of thing I really should have covered already. And that's how to get a raptor in gw2. So I've decided to cover that right now, plain and simple. However, before I start, just some things to keep in mind here. The first one is if I just go into my character here and their equipment, you can see that I have the amulet missing here, but everything else is either exotic or ascended, so if you have a bunch of rare equipment, this may be a little harder for you to do. Also, every single one of my weapons is either exotic or ascended, and all of my armor is exotic as well, with a full set of runes, the traveler runes, so it increases movement speed in the end, and also a bit of more plus just all the different stats I have. Anyway, on to the actual. Oh, yeah, one other thing that may be influencing this this gameplay a little bit is the fact that I have a buff right now, a enhancement from these sharpening stones here, and also for the food buff, I ended up finding one of the really good ascended foods, and I also equipped the metabolic primer that I made myself, and I went and basically found that in the Mistlock Sanctuary, which is this thing here. It's a special place you can go to access a bunch of vendors and stuff, and also the trading post. Just letting you know that my character may hit a little harder than usual, so if you aren't hitting as hard, the food may be why. Just letting you know that. Anyway, on to the actual, well, story step itself. So, of course, to get the raptor, the first thing you're going to need to have is a Path of Fire expansion. If you don't have that, you can't get the raptor, plain and simple. And this is the first thing you have to do. You get a message from a letter in the mail from this person called Captain Ellen Kiel, and I just went over to them and interacted with them, and now my character started talking with them. Honestly, you can read this dialogue if you want, or not, or just have it muted like I do and just not listen to it at all. But I'm going to skip ahead until we get to the part where there's actual combat and we go to one of the Path of Fire maps, the Crystal Desert, because right here, it is pretty much impossible to fail this part unless you run outside of the small red ring here. So, I'll see you once I'm actually at the part of the real gameplay, because this is just walking, talking, story and exposition, and also because it's not the original story like with Zaytan and everything, there's no skip button either, so I can't skip this, so yeah, I'll see you when it's over. Okay, and here I am, back like I said I was. Basically, you didn't miss much. Oh, by the way, I should mention that this story step to get the raptor is called Sparking the Flame. It should be the first one and your only one that you can really select when you begin the Path of Fire story step. And also, just so you know, I skipped over just some exposition, stuff like that, and didn't talk to one of the characters, but if you want to know all the story and stuff, you can go and do that yourself. Also, the reason why I'm suddenly on this airship and suddenly actually in the Crystal Desert map is because it was honestly super easy to get there, not any trouble at all. All I really had to do was go to where the map told me to in Lion's Arch, go to the big green circle, and then it started this instance, and here I now am, going inside this temple. Just so you also know, by the way, I'm going to be mainly focusing on the game mechanics of this and not really explaining any of the story. So if you want to know more about the story, I suggest turning the voice acting volume actually on and not have the dialogue off like I do right now, and actually listen to what the character says, because I could explain the story here, but I'd mainly like to focus on just what you have to mechanically do to get the raptor and make this guy plain and simple, if you can understand. So the first thing that you go up against is inside this temple are forged soldiers for, well, story reasons. If you don't know what they are, yeah, you soon find out what they are, just if you play along with the story and stuff. And as you can see, they aren't really that much of an issue to fight. I'm mainly just using a few average staff skills here and there, not even bothering to combo the abilities together. So like that ice field there, if you land one of the icicles in it, it would like freeze the enemies. I'm not really bothering to do that. Oh yeah, by the way, also, if you seem to have trouble with any of these forged here, which I actually remember previously they felt a little bit tougher when I was facing them. Apparently I've just got a good build, or maybe that's the ascended food I talked about earlier that I have that's doing the job. You can start trying to just bring minions to help do the work for you. So right here, because I'm an elementalist, I usually didn't use this much, but recently I've started using glyphs, and let me tell you that they are awesome distractions. As you can see there, I've just summoned two lesser ice, an ice elemental and a lesser ice elemental, and they're keeping the Forge distracted like no tomorrow. In fact, I might not even have to revive the Lion Guard, although it's generally a good idea to do that, because even if your XP bar is completely full, or you haven't started unlocking any Path of Fire masteries yet, then it's a good idea to revive these Lion Guard because they are yet more distractions for the Forge to have to fight their way through. But they'll also help you fight by doing a tiny little bit more damage. I say a tiny bit because usually in this game, it's a running trend that NPCs tend to suck up at fighting a lot more than you do, the player. It's just how it is. Yep, so here we are, treated to more unskippable dialogue, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because, as you can see there, my ice elemental died. Its timer ran out. And it would have been useful to have it helping me face this Herald of Balthazar. So she can actually be a little bit more of a problem than just her minions can be, because as you can see there, she has this huge area effect flame attack. It's really easy to see where it is though, because there'll be just like a giant yellow, like that, a giant yellow line on the map, and you just avoid it. She will smash these civilians, but don't worry about it too much because that'll happen each and every time you play this fight. There's no real way to save them, and unlike later missions in the story, there is no achievement here for actually saving these civilians. So just fight them like you normally would. Yeah, so you can see what I mean by all the minions you can summon, making this much easier, because usually what will happen is she'll fight the Lion Guard, and then she'll move on to you, but as you can see here, I'm just summoning so many minions that she's not really getting a chance to actually fight me. By the way, I'm not actually sure what would be the best build to fight this Herald of Balthazar. Well, the build I've got right now, I forgot exactly what traits I've picked. I think it's a bunch of water traits, so that's healing, and a few arcane traits, so that's critical damage for elementalists, and I've got a full celestial set of armor on. Oh, by the way, Celestial is basically a jack-of-all-trades set, so a little bit of everything. It means I'm not doing the best damage here, and that's why this Herald of Balthazar is taking a decent while to kill. Yeah, so I'm actually going to skip ahead again here. Okay, never mind. I forgot, at 75% health, I've actually talked so long that she's got a fire shield up here, so I won't actually need to skip anything. Because once she has it up, she's practically invulnerable. I'm just attacking her here for fun. Don't actually need to. Yeah, and right now I'm just switching to air, because I know if you're using a staff and you have the air element selected, like I have, then it enables you to give yourself speed to run faster, and I don't want to dilly-dally. I want to get this guide done as fast as possible so it doesn't waste any of your time. Well, as fast as possible while still explaining everything, of course. Yeah, and because I've done this mission before, I knew she was going to do that. So, yeah, I've even confused her. As you can see there, she's kind of turning around like, wait, well, you're already here? You were meant to stay there while I've monologued about, like, killing people or whatever. And I'm like, nope, I'm already just going to run past you, lady. Yeah, so this lady here will continue to be a great big meanie and attack helpless civilians, smash up the place, and Forged here are, well, yeah, setting fires everywhere. I kind of forget if there's actually a point in attacking her here. I don't really think there is, because, or maybe there is. Maybe you have to reduce her down to a little less health before she actually runs away again. Yeah, in any case, you're best off just to try and avoid the Forged here and not take too much damage. Yes, I know that can be kind of sometimes a bit of a big ask, like if you're not that skilled at dodging everything in the game, especially if you're like using an armor set like I have. It doesn't do that much damage. Yeah, so pretty much you'd fight these Forged like normal and just try and defeat them all. And the reason why I'm kind of sounding like that is because, well, I'm going to put another cut in here soon, because you don't need to see me individually defeat all the Forged. Just know that when I get back to you, I will have defeated them all. And I'm back again, because what's ended up happening so far is that the Herald of Balthazar, you just missed the part where she runs away, because she says, my friends will deal with you, and by that she means these Forged Shield, these veteran Forge Hounds. Yeah, so the reason why I've cut back here is because these guys, well, I don't know if they're really guys and all. I mean, they're like a dog made out of metal. So yeah, I don't know. They seem, well, not really, I don't know, but they seem to be a little easier this time, because I remember when I first faced them, they seemed to be a lot harder, so perhaps they were actually nerfed recently. Yeah, and yeah, also another reason why I cut back to them is because, well, like I said before, they can be somewhat difficult to actually defeat. So generally, what they'll do in their attacks are, well, there's a hook attack they'll use against you where they'll pull you in. You can tell when they're going to do that because they'll kind of rear up and pounce forward. There's also, you can see there, fire, well, flame field. They'll kind of shoot kind of like a flamethrower, and they'll also shoot just mini little projectiles. So far, however, as you can see here, my tactic of just spam little minions, in this case elementals, is working really, really well. And the Forge Hound is like hardly even concentrating on me. It seems to like concentrate on me for a little while and then kind of go like, oh, the elementals are also a threat, and yeah, it really doesn't seem to know what it actually wants to attack, which is great for me. Yeah, and apparently my elementals are being defeated, but I'm not really too worried about that because I can always just summon more. Yeah, and also another thing that you should be mindful about when facing the Forge Hounds is, since there's two of them, if you happen to kill one and the other one is still around and you're really low health, just run away because it may regain all its health, but you've killed one, thereby making the fight easier next time you come back there. And now that that's done, these two here, this guy's, Askim has basically broken his leg, and he can't help the town because, well, it's on fire because of the Forged, so you're the one who's going to have to put it out. I don't get why this lion guy here, first mate fight his foe crush. I don't know why he can't put out the fire, because that thing he's actually got in his hand there, he'll soon show you, is actually a fire extinguisher, even though it's got the exact same gun as skin as a gun, also called the extinguisher, which it does not that gun does not shoot well, cooling agent or anything to put out fires. It's a straight up gun. I know because I have one in my warrior. In fact, I have that exact gun. It's not a skin or anything. It's, well, the gun you can buy off the trading post. Yeah, any moment now, he's actually saying, here, I've got something that might help. And then you talk to him, and he'll give you the fire extinguisher. And how it works is, unfortunately, you can't really run and shoot with this because you need to press the button once and wait for the bar to completely fill up while pointing it at a bit of the fire to actually put out the fire. I learned this the hard way after I tried to put out multiple bits of fire at once with this fire extinguisher, and it didn't really work. Also, if you happen to have a friend with you, with this, playing this mission with you, in order to help defeat the enemies and stuff, or just tag along and enjoy the story, since if you are both on the same story step, you will get credit for doing it. If that is the case, then they unfortunately will not get a fire extinguisher. Only the person who is actually playing the story step and is considered the main character, in other words, the Pat Commander, will actually get a fire extinguisher. Your friend, unfortunately, will have to deal with nothing but water buckets, which, yes, I know is a little bit lame. I really wish the game designers had programmed in 2 fire extinguishers, but what can you do? Okay, so once you put out the fires here, you will be able to get on top of one of the training raptors here. You just press F to interact with it. Then it controls like normal. W is forward, A and D is turn if you have it set up like that on your keyboard. And then spacebar is jump, which you can use to make it go across the chasm like so. And then you can either press 1 to do the tailspin move. It's like the engage movement skill. So if you use it on enemies, you kind of whip them and bring them closer. Or you can just press the this button over here. It's right now a button to mount up on a raptor, since I actually already own a raptor. But if you're on a raptor, it will get you off it. Yeah, so that actually pretty much covers all you really have to do to help this village. You just go around, try and put out as many fires as you can, free as many raptors as you can, and heal as many villages as you can. So I'll get back to you once I've finished doing all that, because there's no real point in me talking anymore, because I'm just going to be doing the same old thing as I've been doing already, and watching me do it over and over is kind of lame. So I'll get back to you once I've finished helping this village and get on to the next step. Okay, here I am, back after I'd helped the village like I said I would. So once you helped enough stuff and the bar at the top right corner of the screen, the one that was filling up slowly that was green, has fully filled up, everything else will be resolved automatically. Any fires that are left over that you didn't put out will automatically go away. Any villagers that were still injured and on the floor will immediately get up. And you also get this little heart token here, which will give you a bunch of money. And that's kind of showing you, like, well, hearts in the game normally are kind of like the equivalent of World of Warcraft's quests. If you do them, you get money and karma, but this one for some reason will only give you money and no karma. And then basically these two will thank you and ask him will now get up, even though apparently he had broken his leg before, or at least strained it. I don't understand how he's okay that quickly, because no one used any healing magic on him. And nice saying, like, please make the bad people pay for uh, hurting this village and like setting it on fire and killing a bunch of people or he's injuring them. So then he'll give you your raptor. This normally would look like a normal raptor. I just have a skin on it right now, so just treat this as a normal raptor. There's nothing special about mine. I just have, well, nothing special except for the fact that I've unlocked most of the masteries for it. So its mountain gauge skill is a little tougher and it can jump a little further. That's pretty much it. And then this guy's pretty much talking about like, oh no, spiders have overran the mine. You can't really go through here now. It's dangerous. And then your character is pretty much telling them, oh, don't worry, I can deal with it, which is the case. Yes, you can deal with it. So, yeah. That's what I meant by the mountain gauge skill. It's really, really good at just generally, well, killing stuff. And these spiders are kind of, they're mostly here to show you, hey, it's a good idea to use this skill whenever you can to engage enemies, because you might as well. I mean, having a little bit of extra damage when you start an engagement is better than no damage, right? Yeah, and then this cave spider here is kind of to show you how using the mountain gauge skill first will actually take off a decent amount of health off the enemies, because the other ones were just, well, dying instantly, as you can see there. So I'm not going to put a cut in here because this thing will be defeated in no time, I can tell. As soon as I summon like one or two elementals and then just, well, kill it. Now this is the point where sometimes you might get a little confused because, well, previously this little green arrow here wasn't actually showing up because there's actually a spider right down here. It's a little bit harder to see than usual. But still, it should get defeated pretty quickly. Also, apparently, elementals you have out will go away once you mount up on your raptor. So I didn't really know that previously in open. Maybe they only do it in like story missions because previously that didn't happen. Yep, and now you're meant to approach the North Gate of Amnoon. You can talk to this person here, the miner, if you want, or you can not. Your choice. I'm just choosing not to because I said I don't want this guide to take forever. And now Timey, one of the main characters of the story, is contacting you for reasons. I don't need to go over that. You can kind of stop and listen to what she says if you want, or just keep moving forward like I am if you're just here purely mechanically getting the raptor and you maybe don't care about the story, which if you don't, I'm totally fine with that. I understand. Your choice. Some people honestly play this game only for PvP, and I can understand that too. Like, no story whatsoever. They just like to feel the combat and don't know anything that happens in the story. Yeah, so pretty much what happens here is honestly there's a bunch of exposition between the characters. They go over some stuff and then someone from inside shouts, "Open the gate." You just wait here long enough for them to actually open the gate. They'll finish talking and then the mission will be complete. You own a raptor for good. You earn a coin to help level up your raptor masteries. You'll be introduced to pacifier masteries, and you also get a single mastery point to train up more raptor skills. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, congratulations. You now own a raptor. This guide is done. You can stop watching, and I'm going to pretty much end the video now, even though the characters haven't finished talking, because, yeah, that's all there is to this guide. Like I said before, thanks for watching, and tell me if you enjoyed it or not. Oh, what do you know? There, like I said, apparently I talked long enough that Sparking the Flame was completed. So there, as you can see, I got a little bit of rewards, and the leave instance buttons here has popped up. So yeah, that was all there is to this. You now own a raptor. Congratulations once again.